right, cool.
Cole, we appreciate you having us on the truck here prior to Talladega, a couple hours before the race. What do you feel like inside?
I'm always pretty calm, just kind of, hanging out. It's every day. I mean, it sounds weird, but, this is just going to work for us. This is what we do week in and week out. Our hard work goes in on Sundays. So Friday to Sunday, we just come to the racetrack, kind of try to get everything set up best we can, and then once the race starts, it's kind of in my hands. And but Talladega is always exciting, good times, and we just kind of see what we can do.
Nice. I mean, I'm just excited, just sitting here, just being part of the energy. You can't help but kind of get excited, get sucked into it. And you're about to go out and drive a race car, in excess of 180 miles an hour in front of tens of thousands of people. What does that even feel like?
Like I said, for me, I'm pretty calm. It's just kind of, this is what we do. It's funny because, you talk about all that stuff, and you notice it before the race, but as soon as you get out there, it's you and those competitors, and that's really about it. You're pretty much focused on just trying to get the best finish of the day, and, just try to kind of, put yourself in the right situation throughout the race, because there's going to be a lot of things that play into it.
Can you talk a little bit about the difference with Talladega in general? There's some restrictions.
Yeah. So in Talladega, normally we run an open motor where the cars have a lot more horsepower. But coming here, it's the biggest track we run on, the biggest high banks, and basically the whole point of the thing is they try to keep the cars under 200 mile an hour, right at that 200 mile an hour buffer. Mm-hmm. If they let us come here with open motors, we'd probably be flying around here at 240, something stupid where I don't even know if our cars would stay on the track half the time. If they crash, basically the problem is our cars are designed to go one way, mm-hmm. and they're kind of built as like a wing, really. So, they're designed to push us down to the racetrack going forward. You spin us around, you basically have the opposite effect, so the cars create lift, and that's usually when you see the cars flying through the air. You've seen it happen here a few times, because we're basically right at that buffering point, right at 200 mile an hour, where the cars, when they get spun around backwards, usually bad things happen, so they go flying through the air. And so they restrict our motors here, cut the horsepower almost in half, really, and just to keep us at about 200 mile an hour. And when you restrict the motors like that, basically all the cars are really tapped out on speed, and that creates this big draft that you see. Wow. And you'll see basically all 43 cars basically in one giant pack, and just drafting off each other the whole time.
Well, it's sort of something like Martinsville, but from a different concept, a different angle, because the track size, right?
Yeah, it's just totally different. Martinsville, we're on top of each other because the track's so small. Mm-hmm. Here, if we ran the open motors, you'd see us all spread out, but being the fact that our motors are restricted here, you're going to see the whole pack basically in a football field, really.
Can you talk about, speaking of restriction, just competitive balance overall? You guys versus the 48 car, the 88 car. What's that like?
Yeah, so if you talk about just our team restrictions, the biggest thing is we're a small team. We don't have the big resources. We don't have all the engineering support, the money, the big sponsorship type stuff. Now we have great people backing us like Speed Stick, and that's even why we're even able to come out here and do this. But those guys, multi-million-dollar cars, and we're here running on about an eighth of their budget,
really,
and trying to compete with them. And sometimes that's really tough. But we're here kind of proving a different point. So there's a lot of races within the race. You see, if we can get a top 25 finish most weekends, that's a good day for us, because we have to outrun some really high dollar cars just to do that. So this is still the premier top racing in the world, really. There's 43 spots, 43 guys that get to line up and do this on Sunday. So just to be one of those guys is huge. And even if we're on a small team, and we take pride in outrunning some of the big teams when we get the opportunity. Mm-hmm. And places like Talladega gives us that opportunity to do that.
Nice. Just talking a little bit about your background. So you moved from the West Coast to the Midwest at a young age for racing, correct? Yeah. What percentage of guys are doing that? And do you have to do it at like age 6 to 8 or something to even have a shot at Talladega or being one of those 43 guys?
Yeah, I was very blessed to have the family that I did that allowed me to chase the racing dream at a very young age. My dad took me across the country racing go-karts and stuff. So, without that, probably from the very first start at about 8 years old, 8 to 12 range, without that, I don't know if I would have got the experience I needed. But then even then, coming from sprint cars from go-karts into sprint cars in the Midwest and running dirt cars at 15 years old, then I had to step up to the plate, and now I was like, okay, now these are bigger cars, have to learn that, and it's a whole other style of racing. So I think what worked out pretty good for me was my family kept me racing different things. Went from from go-karts to sprint cars to stock cars, all three of those things are completely different. So, I think keeping me versatile in my racing and not getting adaptive to one sport helped me kind of, I guess, kind of be able to adapt to kind of whatever comes my way.
Right.
So, but, as far as anyone making it here, it's definitely tough. Like I said, there's 43 guys that get to do this on Sunday. So, you think about that as odds versus how many people are out there trying to make it happen. So, do all the kids that are racing local stuff probably want to be here? Yeah. And some of them will make it. It's just kind of it's really a dream come true to be able to come here and do it. And, we just have had the right people backing us and been able to step up and perform like we needed to and just got me here.
Can you talk about just the team concept in NASCAR a little bit? I know your teammate David Reagan won at Talladega in 2012. During the course of a race, can you talk about how you utilize a teammate and how that sort of works, the interplay with that?
Yeah, so at a normal track, we just kind of rely off of them for, I guess, setup stuff more or less. Probably just, if they find something in the setup, then we can kind of steal something from them and kind of be like, all right, well, that worked for them, we'll try it. Here at Talladega, I'll use him as a drafting partner. Just follow him through the field, or maybe he'll follow me.
And that's because there's so much more room, right?
Yeah. So our cars will just work together in the draft and kind of help each other out.
Wow. Talk a little bit about sponsorship. You mentioned Speed Stick, which I just flew in from Omaha yesterday.
Yeah.
Boyer, my arm's tired. Speed Stick was there for me. Perfect. You guys do such a great job. Every NASCAR racer seems to do just a wonderful job in a post-race interview. How do you compose yourself after driving 3 to 4 hours, several hundred miles at the speed you race, and then be able to be coherent?
I don't know. It's for me, I love. How can you not appreciate people who do things for you? Without the people that have backed me through my career, like Speed Stick, I wouldn't be able to do this on Sunday. So, I've never lost that vision that these people are really what allow me to do this. Mm-hmm. So any time that I can give back to them or help them, then obviously I'm going to take that opportunity.
Who was your favorite driver growing up?
Probably Dylan, our senior, I guess. Just kind of that time frame was when he was in there.
So this is your second year on the Sprint Cup, right? Full time anyway. Is it still? When did it wear off? When you were like, I'm racing against Jimmy Johnson, I'm racing against these icon type guys.
First race.
Just way past it.
Yeah, it's just
you can't really approach it like that, I suppose.
Yeah, you can't be starstruck. You got to come out here and you got to expect to beat these guys and think you can if you have the right opportunity.
Yeah. How's the car gonna run today?
We'll see. I don't know. We'll find out. Didn't qualify very good by ourselves, but I think we'll draft it good.
Awesome. Cole, appreciate the time, my man. Good luck today.
Appreciate it.
Yep.